The legal profession, with its culture of billable hours, is not exactly famous for being family-friendly. Well, our next two guests both held jobs as senior associates at a top-tier law firm before their status as parents put the brakes on their careers. The solution? Start your own practice. Jane Wright and Lauren Barel are the founders of Workdynamic Australia, a legal firm specialising in workplace investigations, and they join us now with their career stories. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Jane, I might start with you in terms of just what made you want to be a lawyer in the first place.
I think when I was at school, I really enjoyed writing and I also enjoy arguing. So being a lawyer involved sort of being able to combine those two skills. I think I just liked the academic challenge of being a lawyer. Yeah. So those were the type of things that attracted me to the legal profession in the original.
Did you always know you wanted to be in the legal profession?
I actually decided to study law because I wanted to be a journalist, funnily enough, and I thought that would be a good way to enter that career path. But as soon as I started studying it, I actually realised how much I liked the study of it and practising it even more so. So it was a good move.
So what did you think when you first entered the workforce at one of these top-tier firms? What was sort of your initial reaction?
I think I was just extremely excited. Like, just the prospect of practicing what you'd been doing for 5 years at university was really exciting. And you starting in a big firm is quite daunting, but it's good because they give you opportunities to rotate through different departments, so you get to have a feel for different areas of the law and decide which area sort of takes your fancy.
It's long hours though. I mean, everybody knows that, and it's sort of, high pressure. Did that ever deter you from wanting to do it?
I think in the beginning it was fine. You're young and you can work hard, and it comes with the territory.
I think you probably know what you're getting yourself into as well.
You do. It does. When you start to have a family, that's probably when it becomes more of an issue.
So let's talk about that then. When you did have children, because did you both have children around the same time?
Yes, we did. So originally, while we started job sharing, is because we both fell pregnant at about the same time.
So just tell us how you got into that job sharing position, because obviously was that a conversation that you had to bring up with your sort of employer?
Essentially, yes. So Lauren approached me, and we obviously noticed that we were around the same level of seniority, that we did the same area of law, and we thought job sharing would be a good solution when we came back from work. And there were a couple of examples that had already gone previously, so we had that sort of as a role model to look up to. So we went to the partnership and put forward that we'd like to job share, and they were really supportive of it.
Really? So was that what you sort of considered from the beginning when you first kind of decided to have children? Did you think about the job sharing since you'd sort of seen the precedent set at the workplace already?
Yeah, I had seen a pair do it and they had done it well, and I thought that was a good solution. And when I saw that Jane kind of was a few months behind me in her pregnancy, and she announced her pregnancy, I thought, what a perfect opportunity. As Jane said, it was very lucky that we found each other, and it was something the firm supported, so it was great.
Yeah, I mean, because in other law firms and things, have you seen this a lot? I mean, is this a common practice to job share? Because I imagine it's sort of a tough conversation for a lot of people to have with their employers.
I think it's increasing in its prevalence, but I mean, a lot of people only work part-time, and our experience was that part-time law work just didn't really work.
Does that even happen in the law industry, part-time work?
It does, but I mean, some people get relegated to doing things like policy reviews or sort of less important work because they can't complete it over the full 5 days. And really the great joy of job sharing and the benefit both to clients and to the firm and to us is that you've got coverage over the entire 5 days of the week. So we could take on the big litigious matters, we could take on the big advice work and still give the complete service to a client.
So Lauren, logistically, how does it work? How does job sharing work?
So what we would do in that role was I would work the first half of the week for 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Jane would work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We would have that crossover day in the middle where we would both be at work and we would do a big handover of the matters. We would do a lot of written communicating, handing over, telephone calls. It took a lot of work. It was a huge...
I was going to say, in a way, is it more work than just having your own kind of full-time 5-day-a-week job? Because this handover is a lot of work.
It is definitely more work than just working full-time. I think it really hones your communication skills, and you really have to be adaptable so you can work with another person. So often, I'd started a written advice and Lauren would finish it, so you have to sort of pull back from any sort of perfectionist tendencies that you have or sort of control.
Micromanaging.
Exactly. You can't be a control freak or a micromanager if you're job sharing. You need to be able to trust your job share partner to complete the work that you've started and to have that sort of ebb and flow of communication.
And had you guys worked together before? Because I imagine you'd want to get along well with the person that you're job sharing with and have similar sort of, I guess, approaches to things.
We'd worked in the same employment law group, so it was a small group, we knew each other, we hadn't worked with each other closely, and obviously the job share was a whole new level of working together. But we knew the level of each other's work, so that there was definitely that.
So tell me a bit about when you decided to go for a promotion.
So originally we decided to go for promotion, and at this stage we'd been working in a job share for over 5 years.
Right.
And we'd
been working obviously quite well.
We had been very successful. We'd got fantastic feedback from partners, from clients, from everyone. So it didn't even really cross our mind to apply individually. We saw ourselves as one person. All of our initiatives, everything worked together as a team. So we put forward a joint application, and it was only when we actually put the joint application in that then we were informed that no promotions have to be on an individual basis. And for us that was just a bit of a whole mind shift, because we couldn't really, our whole future we had imagined us being a job share team and working up the ranks together. So having to sort of separate out what I'd done versus what Lauren had done and essentially compete against each other to go for promotion, and also the prospect that one of us could get it and one of us couldn't, and the whole thing being destabilised just made us completely shift our thinking.
So Lauren, tell us about that. That's obviously what led you to start Workdynamic. Tell us a bit about that.
So that was part of it. We also, I think we were at the point where we were very much ready to work for ourselves and be in charge of our own destiny. So we identified a gap in the market for legally qualified investigators. As lawyers, we were often being asked by clients to find an investigator to go in and investigate allegations of bullying or harassment or misconduct. And it was increasingly difficult to find someone who could do that well. So we thought that was something we could do, and that was the kind of the start of the business. And that's kind of one half of our business, and the other half is we do traditional employment law advice as well, so unfair dismissals, discrimination, industrial relations. And we joined forces with our third partner, Jonathan Wright, who also came from a large firm, to form the firm about 18 months ago.
So what are the key benefits of this flexible work environment, particularly with kids at home?
I think just like we work much more closely with our clients, so we often work at our clients' premises. Just that flexibility not to have to go to a particular office every day gives a lot more flexibility to be with your children, to have time off. You can go to your child's classroom and help them with reading for half an hour. Pretty much we're more in control of our own destiny and our own time in this model.
So what advice do you have for others, thinking about leaving the corporate world and going out on their own? Lauren?
Look, it was a big step. It was a huge leap. In the end, it was the best thing we ever did, and it was hugely worth it. So I would encourage anyone to do it. But obviously, you need to find an area that there's a need for. When we managed to do that. I think it's also important. I think the experience we got at that law firm was hugely beneficial. The training that we received, and also while we were there, we managed to create a big network of contacts, and that
helps. All right, we'll have to leave it there, but Lauren, Barel and Jane Wright, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And that does wrap up your career for today. Thanks for your company.